Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women. I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar's dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small time.
Oh. Writhe in my cage of torment, my friend.
Writhe in my cage of torment.
I'm gonna use that one.
I hate to imagine the situation where you would. That's some Silence of the Lambs shit right there.
We know each other.
Something you yell at the woman who's stuck in the well in your basement.
Oh, I don't have a basement.
Attic.
I just have those other things, but I don't have the basement.
What? No. No. Remy, why?
DME.
So what was the conversation we had earlier? Like favorite villain or what exactly was going on?
Yeah, we're talking, I guess, yeah, before, well, we were munching on some snacks, we were talking about, favorite villains.
Tom, who's your favorite villain?
My favorite villain.
Top three.
Top three, okay.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
And worst.
Darth Vader's a great villain. I know he rounds out at the end, but he is... Up until then, he's a major antagonist of the Star Wars trilogy. I think Darth Vader... And he's
Darth
the classic
Vader rounds
for
out
me.
at the end?
Fuck, you spoiled that shit. No, but he's like he's one of the classic
Next, you're gonna
villains.
tell me he was Luke's dad.
Damn it.
Wait, what?
So Darth Vader for me.
That is a good one.
Let me see. Oh, we hear her.
Oh, I don't want to deal with it.
Okay. Man, it's hard to think.
Let's say you can include video game villains too. If you want.
Okay.
Any villain, comic book, movie,
Quick movie.
video game.
So Darth Vader. Why don't y'all give me some and then I'll come back around. Because I don't want to just spin here being like, and just thinking.
Okay, well, I already picked mine out. We already talked about it. Mine are all movies. Number one is Pan's Labyrinth. The captain is a fucking evil motherfucker. Number two is Brother Justin from Carnival. Just a demented and way to depict evil incarnate. Just kind of unsettling villain there. And then number three, Harvey Arbordem in No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, he's
Friendo.
Friendo. Call it Friendo.
You really don't know what you're talking about.
I think one of my top is definitely like, straight up, the Joker.
Yes, that was my next one.
The big purpose for me on that is that he has no he's never had any clear motivation.
Absolutely.
Even, his origin stories may not even be true.
He is the first villain that just thinks it is fucking fun to be terrible.
Well, it's like
Javier doesn't in No Country either. He has no motivation.
Yeah.
Except for money, but he's just evil to be evil. Yeah.
You're never really
Yeah,
Yeah, the Joker enjoys
the
it.
Joker is a great villain. I'd say that would be my next one. It's the Joker.
I think Luke Skywalker is a real piece of shit, but I need you to hear me out for a second. So, I'm very sympathetic to Darth Vader. Unfortunately, he had a bad actor, playing younger self, but him and Sidious had peace and peace to the Republic. And Luke Skywalker came around, him and Obi-Wan dumbass messed it up.
This poor trolling here, you're giggling.
Well, and it's like, look at like some of the premises we've been reading for the new one. It's that Luke is still having to deal with like the remnants of like the Empire. Like there's still like an unstable galaxy. Or, I guess it's stable galaxy. I don't even, to be honest. It's just like, it's one of those things like, if you got really deep with it, are they really better off?
You're gonna have to go more into it for me there.
Well, it's like if you take out the main governing body for an entire galaxy, then how does the galaxy? And it's like then all of a sudden it's like even like on one single planet, I can't see like just realistically one single planet staying under the same kind of banner. I feel like it would cause a ton of chaos. And part of me wants in the new Star Wars movie to show that like this the Empire was defeated, yeah, but now you have a galaxy in chaos.
That doesn't make Luke Skywalker a villain though.
I know, I was just being an asshole.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I want to talk more about Star Wars.
Yeah, I was like, I think though logistically, like to nerd out for you, and again, like I can't say how J.J. Abrams is going to do this, but in the novels, they go back to the Senate, the former way of govening. So it switches back.
One thing here. Favorite video game villain, Wesker, for fucking sure. Anyway, go back.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to
that's all I have.
Wesker.
That's it.
But and again, like right now, Star Wars, like what happens post trilogy is completely up in the air until Christmas 2015. Like. They have a trailer?
I said I don't think like even when a trailer.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I still feel like that'll give us a feel like how it's gonna visually appear as far as like how they use it.
Yeah, no idea. But so who would seriously be your villain though? Then.
Right now, I'm kind of like I feel like thanking because I'm going through all the video games, comics, and stories.
Okay.
Like, is this guy?
So Wesker.
Probably number 4. My favorite video game villain. I just love Wesker. He entertains me. It's not like
Shit,
it's not like I consider him the most evil necessarily, or like the scariest or anything. I just love him.
He is an evil son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. I enjoy Wesker. He entertains me. But that wasn't important at all. It bears no religion. Well, that's where that guy is.
Yeah, Umbrella are pretty damn evil themselves. No morals, having sons of bitches.
Oh, what the fuck?
Villains are hard. It's hard to at times separate them because we've covered some of the big heavy hitters, Like Magneto is a great villain. But even then, he rounds out. I think you tell the story long enough, you can sympathize with some of the villains.
Magneto, like when they first introduced him, like he runs the Brotherhood of Evil.
Are you?
But like they didn't really think that through because when you got into Magneto's like the way he thinks and the way he's going about it is he wants mutant supremacy because he doesn't feel like that's where him and Charles Xavier is different.
I know they are just. I would heal, dude. You're a danger.
Charles is looking for equality, but Magneto, because of his experience, doesn't believe in equality. He thinks that there can only be one or the other. Which is so funny because as a Holocaust survivor, it's always been really interesting in that like he's experienced that side.
Yeah, he's already been a victim of that,
Okay, so worst villain for me, the Joker, and the Joker. The Riddler in the Batman series, season number 3 with Jim
Batman
Carrey.
Forever? Yeah, Jim Carrey really did
fucking horrible.
Crap that up.
I love Jim Carrey too, but that's
me too, but it
fucking horrible. I don't know. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. It's pretty bad too.
I love. I'd put. I was going back on those because that's what I have the most knowledge of, to be honest, because I've read so much of that and watched so much of it. But like what they did with.
I thought of another one I like.
Two-Face in the animated series was amazing. Like he already had an alternate personality before the acid thing. It was Big Bad Hard, and like they showed him in episodes before, and just the way they told the story of him transforming the district attorney into Two-Face. I mean, it was better than. I mean, like the Dark Knight gives no justice to that story. Like the Dark Knight story of Harvey Dent is nothing in comparison.
Dude, Justice from Afro Samurai is up there for me. I fucking love Justice.
Yeah, you got really into Afro Samurai,
I
didn't
fucking
you?
love Justice. That's the whole. It's because Justice, man.
Yeah, man. Vicious from Cowboy Bebop. Vicious is a fucking great villain. I think my third one though would be Sephiroth. Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII is just a bad mamma jamma. So I think that he would run at my top 3. Darth Vader, the Joker, and Sephiroth, and then Vicious would be that close 4th of like he's an evil bastard.
I think third. I'm having a hard time thinking of third.
If you're gonna throw in real life, I guess we just do Mangolin.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is like you could totally pull out,
We're not doing
Hitler.
real life, this is fiction.
I'll be really honest. Oh my gosh, Christoph Waltz's character in Inglourious Bastards. Is
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah!
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
he's
a good choice. Oh, I'm impressed. That's really good.
He's an amazing villain because, like, he's sadistic, but he's not like he doesn't show. He's the example of what I feel like a real evil person is like. They're not obvious and out there, and it's subtle, and you wouldn't know it from meeting them once.
I'm too captivated by his character to even consider him a villain, though. Like, I don't know. Like, his character is just like, oh man.
His actions are what make him a villain, but like the way he presents himself, you never know he's. I mean, he's just like, he's the way I like my favorite. I'd say some of my favorite villains are. It's like you really wouldn't know. Like,
he's kind of got that dashing villain thing about him too.
oh yeah.
James Bond villains. Are there any good James Bond villains?
Yeah, there are some great James Bond villains.
What's the dumbest one?
The dumbest one. Oh man. Maybe Boris in GoldenEye. He's a dumb antagonist. He's not the main villain, but he's
He's
secondary.
He's like this little, like,
He's
Odd Job is
idiot.
pretty stupid too. Throwing the hat.
Odd Job. There's Jaws. I don't know.
love
All the
Jaws,
old,
man.
all the
I love
old-
Jaws.
yeah, absolutely. I say this though, like all the old Bond villains are all cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, James Bond's cheesy in a great way.
I don't like the new James Bond.
You what?
I don't like the new James
I
Bond.
love the new James
The
Bond.
only reason I like the old ones is because it's cheesy.
Man,
I'm really not
I
a James
love like
Bond guy. I like
Skyfall.
the
I thought Skyfall was the jam.
I like the actor though. Daniel Craig is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Just-
and
just
like
as James Bond.
the best
man.
one still to me is Casino
Oh, yeah, I
Royale.
see what's going
But
This is a Zelda puzzle here.
those
Rotate the
two
mirrors.
movies, I thought, man, it's making it real. I thought that was real interesting, especially to take such a cheesy thing and make it gritty, in the same way that like Christopher Nolan did with Batman.
Yeah, but I am tired of those rehashes too. Like I want like Tim Burton's lazy ass now. Fucking make something new.
And not put Johnny Depp in it, please.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp can still be all right. It's Tim Burton that's totally dead now. He's dead to me.
He's dead to me. Yes.
There was a time when
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Depp and Tim Burton were the shit in the 90s. Anyone younger than 18, fucking they were
Yeah,
the shit in
absolutely.
the 90s. Oh my shit.
I mean,
Fucking
what Tim Burton did
Dead
Big Fish,
Man
right?
and Ed Wood, he did what?
Tim Burton did Big Fish, didn't he?
Yes, Big Fish is one of
See,
his
I
last
think
great
his.
movies.
I think that's like
Ewan
one of his
McGregor,
best.
ooh, yes,
yeah.
that's a masterpiece. And that was an adaptation of a novel. He could still do that. He doesn't have to remake shit. Although
It's because he's doing the same shit over and over again.
I will say I will watch a remake of The Addams Family by Tim Burton. Even though I know it's gonna be stupid as fuck, I would still watch that because I'd be like, Tim Burton's remaking The Addams Family. I'm gonna go watch that.
I mean, I never had hopes for Dark Shadows in the first place, but like after what he did with Dark Shadows, no.
What was Dark Shadows?
Dark Shadows is based off this like there was a short series in the '90s, but it's mostly a '60s like soap opera. But it was a soap opera, like a daily soap opera, with supernatural shit in it. And it's just like it's really dark, interesting soap opera. And then like when they redid it for like the '90s, it lasted like a season or two.
Yeah.
And it was actually really cool. Like it was just real creepy. The entire, and he turned it into like this family like adventure starring Johnny Depp as this vampire who was just like dumb for comedic effect. And the character that
Nice shot.
based off of it.
That's just what I feel, is that he just makes these wanker roles for Johnny Depp now. Like, that's what all his projects wind up being. Is like, oh, what can I put Johnny Depp in? And Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp, and I will do my thing. They're all the same thing, I feel.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck that. Fuck that.
I might be alone in this, but I actually enjoy Johnny Depp in the Chocolate Factory, though.
I had fun watching
it
once. I watched it once.
See it. So I can't say.
And I don't like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So people who loved that movie, I see why they're like, fuck that shit. But I never really cared about that movie. So I was like, that was entertaining.
They weren't trying to remake the original movie.
And I really like the Oompa Loompa. Is awesome. The guy from Big Fish, who's the clown, the Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
And like it was just like it was its own movie. Like it stood apart. Like they weren't trying to remake. They're like, oh, let's make another movie like this. But obviously we're using this as a source material still. And it was really cool. I mean, I thought it was, and they didn't try to stick to the original. They're like, oh, here's some respectful like nods to it, but they're not at all. It wasn't music.
Yeah, well, it had music in it.
That's like, I don't. Just for some reason makes me think of that photo of Jack Nicholson where he was handed a picture of Heath Ledger as the Joker to like sign. Have you seen that photograph?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, alright.
Pissed.
It is the definition.
Well, come on, Jack, don't be pissed. It was a joke.
Although
This is Jack fucking Nicholson. Don't take it personally,
I think
man.
Jack Nicholson might have forgotten or might not quite understand how things work. I think he might be a little bit crazy because I did read something where he was like interviewed about it and he was like offended they didn't ask him to come back. And it's like,
are you kidding me?
Jack Nicholson is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
he is fucking crazy.
And that's where I was like, he's obviously doesn't understand what's going on.
Do you know what his issue with women is? What happened with his mom and his sister? It screwed him up permanently.
Oh, damn.
I'm showing them this photograph right now. Just Google Jack Nicholson pissed off Joker, and it'll be...
The look in his face is...
It'll be the first hit.
Utter disdain of... I can't... But he's got a cigarette in his hand, too. Of just, I can't believe you're fucking doing this to me, you fucking prick.
That's like...
He does not take it as a joke.
Yeah, he's like, you fucking asshole.
But, come on, Jack Nicholson, man. You were in...
And that's the thing, is like, he doesn't
so many great
realize,
things. Chinatown and fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Take a joke. Take a fucking joke.
Out because he's Jack Nicholson. He's got nothing to prove to anybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Guys,
absolutely.
I have to take back everything I said about my favorite villain of all time. Because in a book, Miss Ratchet is...
Yeah, Miss Ratchet.
Because in the movie, you don't like her. In the book, you fucking hate her. God, she's despicable.
Yeah, they're gas masks.
Away from me, last time, Rod.
What the fuck, champ? Just like let his body absorb it.
Die.
Oh, there it is.
You'll hear it. Is it him?
Yeah, it's dead.
And that book is written from Chief's point of view.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and Chief is... They can't portray it in the movie since they have to follow Jack Nicholson, because that's the person that Chief is writing about. Chief is crazy. He's... Oh, man, he's fucking crazy. And he has visions and stuff while he's... Some of them are kind of based on his Native American heritage. But also the fact that he's crazy. Oh, man, he is such a good narrator.
That's got to make for a creepy
And
narrator.
I have watched subsequent things about Ken Casey and try to get into some of his other stuff. And he is the most full of shit piece of shit in the world. And he made my favorite novel, though. Like, I can't...
The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, or?
No.
One Flew Over.
It's so great. He's so full of shit, though. Oh my god.
What do you mean?
I just don't like him. I've seen things about him, documentaries about him and such.
And you just think he's an asshole?
I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's did too many drugs and got way deluded about... I think he was full of shit. He thought he was a genius in everything that he did, and he made one genius thing, you know. And I feel that way about David Lynch. I know you hate that, but I love the Elephant Man. I feel like he was full of shit the rest of the time. That's how I feel about Ken Kesey.
Over even Mulholland Drive?
I fuck Mulholland Drive.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense.
And I'll give it, like, I'm the same
He
way
has
with this
cool.
later
He has cool
shit.
imagery. Like, he's a good director. Just his stories, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Eraserhead.
Yeah, and that's where you get into some, like, some crazy
now,
shit.
I know we're
there.
trying to stay away from, like, real life villains, but, like, they made this a movie, so I want to count it. The Iceberg.
And Titanic. You know, I saw a thing on the Titanic recently where they think they figured out exactly what happened, and there was a reverse mirage created by the heat, the hotter air above the very cold currents they were on that created that effect that made it look as though the horizon was melting into the water. So I think that's why they didn't see the iceberg.
Shit.
Which makes it not the lookout's fault. Because some people were blaming them on not having binoculars, but they're saying in this thing I watched that binoculars would
There was a
screw you.
lot of shit working against them for a lookout.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of shit working. That was fake
know.
that night. They said if they had not steered away from the iceberg, the Titanic was so sturdy it would just would have bounced off and they would have been fine. But since they panicked, they all died. Not all, but a lot of them.
All right, here we go.
How does the Titanic song go? Come on, guys, help me.
Near, far, wherever you are.
Near, far, wherever you are. Fuck that song. I heard it so much. So much in 1995.
Look at this dude.
Fucking like the Letterman jacket.
Yeah, and then you have your escaped convicts here.
We had Rudy right there.
Like the prison on Monkey Island. Shit, that sandwich effect that they're going for there.
This is what's happening.
Okay, guys, so here on Ask Reddit, we have what is the craziest, most bone-chilling thing you've ever read online that claims to be true?
The horse fuck.
And here we go with Paspalamos writing in. And here he goes. It says, this fucking shit I read in a thread a while back. Lost the link. True story time. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had my own room, but I liked sleeping in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of a hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in a room that was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the doorframe of my mom's room. Her door was open and you can partially see into my bedroom. It was strange because our cat was a huge snuggler and typically always in bed with us. And as I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In the 3 or 4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked back up in the doorframe and there was a man standing by my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally threw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, so maybe it was a 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help when someone called 911. The police came but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe that the man must have exited that way. But the strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with a deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up the water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep.
That's pretty creepy because that's, like, not ghost-oriented.
Yeah, that's just
like,
straight up, like...
Somebody's living in our closet trying to axe kill us!
Like, fuck that noise.
Well, then again, it's still the internet, so you gotta question the validity of it. But if that is true, then yes, that's fucking
Yeah, I mean, that is, like, that's super terrifying.
I remember, like, there's actually an episode of an ex-girlfriend was super into, like, CSI, and one of the main characters, like this dude was totally, like, was stalking them, and it turns out he was, like, staying in the dude's basement, like, it was like attic. And, you know, the guy just never went his attic, and knew he was up there.
And the guy had been living there the whole time?
Not like the whole time, but for a while. Like,
See, that shit would blow your mind after you found that out, you know? See, I'm like...
Fucking hunchback living in your attic.
Yes.
Better make sure there's nobody behind me.
What the thing about that story that makes me call into like the validity of it? If someone was like staying in there and doing all that, why did he just like look at them and then walk out?
Welcome.
Like,
Well, if they woke up, maybe he was like.
Got some
But like he
rare
obviously just
things.
walked out.
What are you
Yeah.
buying?